Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, possibly the greatest hockey fight of all time just happened this weekend.
Also, the insane way a man escaped a kidnapping.
All that and more on the way next. Happy Monday. Well, happy for some anyways. Not so much for me, but more on that later. Thanks for waking up with us. 8772 Radio U. Allie, did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Did you do anything of note?
I did. I had something happen over the weekend that made me so excited.
Okay.
So I ran my first 5K in distance this year. So I didn't run like an official 5K that's been set up, like a race or whatever.
So what? You just ran I
just ran the distance.
Ran 5 kilometers on your own.
Yes.
Without a little bib.
Yes. Just to see.
An inflatable starts and finish lines.
Right. Just to see if I could do it because I
Uh-huh.
hadn't done it since last year, and I'm talking September of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did it because I've been ramping up my runs ever since I got this new app called Strava, which it just is super motivating because it keeps track of all your stats, but also you can see what your friends are doing.
Yeah.
And your family. And so I ran, in September when I ran the 5K, which was at an official race, I ran 42:22. That was my time.
Okay.
When I ran it on Saturday, I ran it in 36:11.
Hey.
I cut 6 minutes off my 5K, so that's a huge improvement. So I was really happy with that.
Really meaningful.
Yeah, I was super happy with that. I still feel like I've got a lot of room to improve because I'm running at an 11:32 pace for a mile. But as a newer to running person, I am very happy with that. I kept running the whole time, and that's the most important part. You don't stop for breaks or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did when I had to run the 5K in September. I had to stop.
Oh, well, that'll add 6 minutes in no time.
I had to stop for a breather to walk because it's hard to keep running. And so even if you're not going very fast. So I was really happy with myself that I kept going, motivated myself to keep going, even though I wanted to stop. It was cold out there, but I pushed through and cut 6 minutes off, and I feel like I can cut even more time off before I run any official 5Ks this year.
I always think this about running because I've not really done it. But what time would you have to get in a 5K for you to tell that to people? Maybe the answer is 36 minutes because you're telling everyone on the radio right now. But how fast would it be where it's the top line of your Instagram bio?
This is my time.
You put it in your dating profile or something. How fast would it have to be?
I feel like I've set the goal for myself to try and get it down to 30 this year. But I think if I was really impressed with my 5K time, it'd be if I got 25 or something.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's less what you would be impressed with and more
of what the
an
world?
Average person. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But the answer could be anything because I'm an average person, I think, and I have no idea.
Well,
if you told me 45 minutes, I'd be
cool.
I wouldn't be good or bad. I would wait for you
that's 15
for
minutes
your
per
cues
mile.
to tell me whether that's good or not.
That's pretty slow, but I would say the fastest people out there, they're running it in 18 minutes, 17 minutes, and so I'll never get anywhere close to that. But I would say if you're looking around the 20 to 25 range, that's pretty impressive for an average person.
Okay.
Really impressive, honestly.
All right. So you still got your work cut out for you.
I do.
But that doesn't mean that shaving 6 minutes off.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that just because some people would be impressed with 25 doesn't mean that 36 isn't good.
No, and the best part about the running community is that even though somebody else may have that 18-minute time, they're so proud of you for cutting off 6 minutes of your own time because they also know how hard it is to start running and how hard it is to cut time off. To cut that amount of time off is huge. And so that's what I love about it is it's very supportive even though they're running way faster than I am. They're so supportive of me.
Well, good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It'll get a whole lot happier when that alert flashes across my phone. I'm just waiting. Haven't seen it yet. Ian Rappaport reports the Packers have fired Matt LaFleur.
Oh.
Maybe it'll be Adam Schefter. Maybe Tom Pelissero. I don't know, but somebody needs to report today that the Green Bay Packers have fired head coach Matt LaFleur because what happened on Saturday night, inexcusable. It's happened too many times. Actually, basically every single season he's been the head coach, and it's enough is enough. It's time to move on. The Packers should have a higher standard than losing in pathetic ways in the playoffs, particularly to the Bears. Yeah. That's not even Ohio State losing to Michigan. That's like Ohio State losing to Northwestern. It doesn't happen. It's not acceptable. And it's time for Matt LaFleur to go.
I mean, it could absolutely happen because whether you want to call the Bears, Green Bay's Michigan or Green Bay's Northwestern. I know you want to call them Northwestern, but I do think the rivalry is that meaningful that this could get someone fired. Mm-hmm. Similar to like if Ryan Day hadn't won the national championship last season, I think he absolutely would have been fired for losing to Michigan. And so this game is meaningful enough, and it's in the playoffs, that I think absolutely Matt LaFleur could be gone.
And it's not the first time we've seen this exact same thing this season with the Packers or in the past with the Packers with Matt LaFleur as head coach. They had a 21-3 lead at halftime. All anybody's asking you to do, possess the ball for a few minutes in the second half, score more than 6 points, make a field goal, do something. Yeah. And they couldn't do any of that. And it's a script that we've seen time and time again. The Packers blew a game very similarly to the Bears earlier in the season that cost them the division. Obviously, they blew several other games against teams they should beat, like the Panthers and the Cowboys, the Browns, earlier in the season. And it's Matt LaFleur's fault because this goes back further than Jordan Love. This goes back to when Aaron Rodgers was there. And it's enough excuses. Mm-hmm. He does this every single playoffs. And I've had enough of it. And a prediction I have tonight, the Steelers are going to get up to an early lead with Aaron Rodgers. Not probably 21-3, but they'll have a lead. Uh-huh. And then the Texans will come back and they'll almost win. And then they won't.
Aaron Rodgers will
because Aaron Rodgers escaped the curse of Green Bay coaches that don't know how to finish off a game.
Interesting.
And he's in Pittsburgh where they actually do.
I do think it helps your chances that the Steelers will win. It's just like the luck factor.
Yes.
When the Packers lost, I was like, you know what? I think there's now a higher chance that the Steelers will win. Mm-hmm. Something about it's going to motivate Aaron Rodgers to be like, see, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I love that about him.
I do think there is a higher probability of that happening now. But yeah, we'll see. I feel like I want to ask you to remove your Packers fan hat currently.
Yeah.
What do you think the probability actually is of Matt LaFleur getting fired today?
I feel like it's not as high as it should be.
Okay.
I think because before the game, there was reports that they were working on an extension with him, which was a little premature to me. And so I feel like the Packers, they're kind of similar to the Steelers in the sense that they don't tend to fire head coaches.
Yeah.
And while he's had numerous, abundance of playoff failures, and not just like games where you lose a close game, where you get beat by, it was a competitive game and you lose in the end. Spectacular failures under Matt LaFleur. But he also has had a very good winning percentage and gets to the playoffs every year, even despite a bunch of injuries and stuff. So that's a lot of teams would be satisfied with that. The Packers front office might be, but they shouldn't be.
No.
We can do better. There's a lot of great coaches on the market. Kevin Stefanski got to the playoffs. He's done everything and not had everything the Packers have done except he hasn't had a quarterback to do it.
Yeah.
Put him in Green Bay, give him Jordan Love and Micah Parsons. They're the Browns with a quarterback and expectations. He can actually make something happen. Brian Flores is out there. Kurt Signetti. Ryan Day, for all I care. Anybody but Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Get him out of there.
What do you think about Harbaugh?
I feel like he has the Super Bowl credibility, but he also has done a lot of the same things in these recent seasons with Lamar Jackson, where it's kind of been spectacular failures. So I don't know if that, I don't know. I think a lot of teams should be excited to get John Harbaugh, but I don't know if he's the switch you need if you're going off of Matt LaFleur.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you could place all the blame with Lamar, like what's going on with Baltimore at Harbaugh's feet.
No.
So I do think that wouldn't be a bad get.
I think he deserves another chance. I just feel like he's not different enough. But also, I would still take him over Matt LaFleur because at least he hasn't failed the Packers and lost to the Bears over and over again. Now, by the way, he beat the Bears with a backup quarterback this season. So
you need him.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take anything but Matt LaFleur. Get him out of here. Okay, I've had a few minutes to calm down. I'm still a little fired up about the Packers losing to the Bears, blowing a 21-3 halftime lead. And I still do want Matt LaFleur fired.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a bigger lesson we can learn that I think is very important.
Okay.
877-2-RADIO-U. I can be a fan of the Packers.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I should just agree with everything they ever do.
Yeah.
I still cheer for them. I still want the best. But that's why sometimes you have to say it's time to fire your coach.
Right.
Or you have to get rid of Keyshawn Nixon and because he does stupid stuff every game. And you don't have to agree with everything your team does and root for everything your team does just because they're your team.
Right.
This is something that many people, I think, Nene's a good example too. He's a Cowboys fan. He's always criticizing Jerry Jones.
Always.
And it would be, I think a lot of people that are sports fans, you're okay with doing this in sports.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's much harder to take that from sports and put it into other aspects of life. I think particularly now, politics is horrible with this.
So bad.
You are a Republican or a Democrat, and then you feel like you need to cheer on everything that's on your side of the aisle, no matter what they do.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you less of a Republican to call them out when they do something wrong. It doesn't make you less of a Democrat. And in fact, it's more noteworthy if it's coming from the own side.
Yeah.
Even though, and that's why I feel like they try to shut you up the most when you actually...
They're like, stop pointing out our flaws.
Yeah, you're not actually one. Don't let them tell you that because it's not true.
Yeah.
At work, one of the best things you can do at work is be willing to actually challenge like your superiors. I'm not saying get into arguments with them for no reason.
Yeah.
But sometimes if they're wrong, you should be, or if you have a different idea that would be better, you have to be able to say that.
Yeah.
You need to be able to speak out. Don't just go along because that's what the boss said. That's how, like, it's in some jobs, that's how people get killed.
Yeah. Right.
And if you can't speak up at a job and be like, hey, I think this would be a better idea, they're not going to take kindly to that, then that's probably not a job you want to be at.
Right.
And there's so many aspects of life now where this is true. So, do it.
Yeah.
But the anchor that can guide you through, like, at your job, with politics, with whatever it is, to know, like, well, how do I know, like, when it's actually time? Jesus is the anchor because God is he's not going to get things wrong.
Yeah.
So
and he's not going to change.
Yeah. So you can hang on to him, have a relationship with him, listen to him. And then when something at work or something in life goes against what God is saying, that's when you know it's time to speak up.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we all, some people like to talk a big game, but at the same time, we all just kind of go along to get along too much.
It's true. An anchor is such a good analogy for this because what does an anchor hold your ship or boat from doing? Floating away with the current.
Right.
The current is constantly changing, whether it be politics, whether it be sports, whatever. The mood, the vibe, the narrative, it's constantly moving and changing and shifting. And the one thing that's not is God. And so he really is like that anchor, that unmovable force that you can hang on to. And how I view it is like, you know what? A lot of the world tries to make it seem as if our identity should be, you're a Browns fan, you're a Buckeyes fan, you're a Packers fan, or you're a Republican, or you're a Democrat, or you're this or that. But instead, God wants us to realize that our identity doesn't lie in those things. It is actually in him. And so that's when we can make those decisions better to be able to call out our own side for doing something wrong or, be able to have kind of a clear point of view because our identity is in him. And that's the one unchanging, unmovable thing that we can rely on in this life.
Yeah, it's not a criticism of anybody, but at the same time, your team, your political party, your job, your significant other, your parents, they may be great, but they're going to get things wrong.
Yeah.
And you should be able to speak up when they do, but God's not going to get things wrong. And so that's how stay anchored to him. Don't float away and let other stuff control where you go with your life and how you live. Let Jesus take control and let that guide everything else you do.
Right.
And see the difference. You'll be amazed. If you want to know more, check out RadioU.com/free gift and start talking to God right now and let him talk to you. A New York State man's testimony at a trial has helped put away his former friend for decades in jail. This is crazy. The guy's name, the victim here, Jomiel Brown. He just testified that his former friend, Shaw Powell, kidnapped him back in 2023.
Oh my gosh.
Listen to what Jomiel Brown had to go through that he just told the court about a few days ago. He says he was kidnapped by Shaw Powell and kept captive in his shed in upstate New York. Then Powell, while he was holding him captive, beat him with metal poles.
Oh my.
Bit him, burned him with cigarettes, and of course, duct taped Brown's wrists to his ankles.
Oh my.
So this happened in 2023. Obviously, there's a resolution, maybe not necessarily a happy ending, but obviously Jomiel Brown is still alive to tell the tale.
That's good, yes.
He's been free now, and meanwhile, Shaw Powell is going to jail. How did Jomiel Brown escape or get rescued?
Yeah.
He also had his 2 front teeth removed with pliers by this guy.
Oh.
And so when he got the chance, his teeth were just left sitting out, and he was able to get one of his removed teeth and use it to cut through the duct tape so he could free himself and escape.
Oh my gosh.
Is that insane or what?
This is so insane.
Yeah.
It sounds not real. Like, this description of this sounds like it happened in a movie or a show. Just like all of this, like a kidnapping, torture,
Yeah.
and then you escape using your own teeth that were pulled out from you as like an act of torture.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, props to Brown for just like fighting for his life, making sure he was not going to be a victim any longer. He was going to get out of there. Just, I'm sure he needs an insane amount of therapy to recover from something like this. But
Yeah.
I'm so happy that he is okay.
Yeah. Fortunately, obviously, he was able to escape, and now Shaw Powell going away, facing, he'd been found guilty of many charges, and so he is going to prison for several decades, it sounds like. But this is, I know it's weird, but I listen to true crime podcasts and stuff like that, and I always put myself in the shoes of how far do you think you could last if you were ever in one of these situations? And I guarantee I would not last to escape using one of my removed teeth to cutting through the duct tape to escape. I don't know if I'd be that resourceful. And I just really feel like after one of my front teeth was removed, I'd scream like the dad from the Fairly Odd Parents and just pass away at that moment. I really do. I don't think I could do that.
I don't know if I'd have the strength to make it through something like this, like what Mr. Brown did here, because this is just an incredible survival story. I hope he someday writes a book about his experience and profits off of it, because that's the only way you can get one up on somebody that's a perpetrator of this type of thing.
Yeah. A criminal like this.
Yeah, a criminal. And so I just feel like he needs to share his incredible story, because that's what it is. It's an incredible story of survival.
Yeah, unbelievable. The best video from the weekend comes from a minor league hockey game. 8772 Radio U. Let us know. We can send it to you. You should see this.
You absolutely need to see this, guys.
And here's what's crazy. It's from a minor league hockey game, and it's an AHL hockey game, which is the next step down from the NHL.
Yeah.
But it's not even the AHL game that brought us this amazing video. It's an intermission. If you go to a hockey game, like a pro hockey game, a lot of times in one of the intermissions, they will have one of the local hockey, children's hockey leagues will get to come out and play a quick game on the actual pro ice, which is really cool.
Yeah.
This happened at the Hershey Bears game, but there wasn't a lot of hockey itself going on because these, like, I don't know, I'd say 12, 13-year-olds break into an all-out brawl. Every player on the ice, except for one goalie, I think gets involved in this. So we're talking 8 or 9 players, including one goalie that was like the other goalie that was like the MVP of the match.
He's the enforcer on that team.
He was all over the place.
He was definitely just making sure the other team knew this is how this fight's going to go. But yeah, you're talking about sticks, gloves, everywhere, all over the ice, people just swinging. And when I say people, kids, these are children swinging like
somewhere
crazy.
Between 10 and 12 years old, I think.
Yeah, and the best part to me, Hudson, watching this video is this is filmed on somebody's cell phone. The crowd is eating this up.
Yeah, of course.
The crowd is loving it.
I feel like a lot of real hockey fans, there's some that are anti-fight.
Yeah.
But if you're a hockey fan,
you know that it's a part of the game.
You're rooting for a fight. You want to fight. And of course, like if the Hershey Bears got into a fight against whoever they were playing, that would have been cool, but it wouldn't be as cool as this.
No, this
because it wouldn't have been every player on the ice fighting.
Right.
Literally, there's multiple times where like there's a couple of the players fighting, and another player comes in from behind and like jumps onto the pile, Keyshawn Nixon style. The goalie, like you mentioned, trucks a kid where he comes out of nowhere.
He comes out of nowhere from this cell phone video, and the whole crowd is like, oh! Like you can hear everybody reacting, and it's a wild video, guys. You have to see this.
There's at least one time, too, where there's multiple players in a pile, like kind of beating each other up.
Yeah.
And swinging. One of the kids is just randomly swinging, and he's hitting his own teammate.
He's hitting his own guy.
And then seems to realize that he's hitting his own teammate and stops. But it is all amazing. The hockey league, not the AHL, but like the junior hockey league, the youth hockey league that was responsible for this has basically apologized and said they're very embarrassed about this.
Aww.
I think they shouldn't be, because obviously everybody had a good time. It doesn't seem like any of the players actually got hurt. And here's my thing, Allie. I kind of think that maybe the players came up with this and it was staged. This is all kayfabe.
They were like, we want to go viral.
Yeah. They were like, we've got a crowd of the Hershey Bears have one of the biggest minor league stadiums in all of hockey.
Yeah, it's huge.
You got a huge crowd and they will erupt. There was probably one of those kids that was like, hey guys, I got an idea. It's probably the goalie.
Right.
He wanted the goalie that wasn't involved, that just stood there.
He was like, I'll watch you guys fight.
Yeah, he's like, I got this crazy idea.
I love that idea. I hope that it was planned.
It was so wild that it almost feels like it had to have been staged.
Those kids were having a lot of fun fighting.
Yeah.
They were having a lot of fun.
It's time for our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters this weekend. Let us know what you've watched lately at 8772 RadioU. We love to see your reviews. Allie, think back to the weekend watch list and think, what movie do you think topped the box office this weekend?
The only movie I can think about is Greenland 2.
Oh. Greenland 2 is not number one in the box office. In fact, for all the promotion that I know I saw for Greenland 2, it only made $8.5 million. It was fifth in the box office.
That's rough.
I don't know how that's possible. I mean, I do. I just don't know why they made so many commercials, maybe watched so many commercials about it.
Spent so much money on advertising for it to be, well, I think most people probably were like us, like looking at those trailers like, there's a Greenland 1?
Yeah.
I somehow missed that.
I feel like the trailers for Greenland 2, Migration being all over football games and stuff, was a really great advertisement for Greenland 1.
Right.
It really got me to maybe consider possibly watching it one day on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know it was on HBO Max. I didn't know it existed.
Nope, I didn't either.
But that was number 5. Number 1 at the box office, we actually didn't cover in the weekend watch list, of course, because it's Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Oh, so it's still number 1.
Yeah, still number 1.
A lot of money.
That's 4 weeks in a row now. Made $21 million. So slowing down a bit, but I'm sure Greenland 2 would have been happy to make $21 million in its first week.
I'm sure it would have.
And that's just a drop drop in the very large bucket of money that Avatar Fire and Ash has made.
Over $1 billion.
Did you ever go see it?
I have not seen it yet, but I still do want to see it.
And somehow nobody has.
It's one of those...
Even though it's made $1 billion.
I've talked to some people that have seen it, that they liked it. But one of the things that is cool about these kind of movies that come out, I guess, this time of year, like right around Christmas, is they always have very long legs. They play for a long time, usually to the end of January, sometimes into February.
Yeah.
Think of like The Greatest Showman and how long that ran.
Yeah.
Same time of year.
Typically, January is kind of like they lay
dead.
out. They maybe put out a Liam Neeson movie or something, but like there's not usually a big release in January.
Yeah.
And Christmas is like the biggest release. So,
right.
Anyways, that was number one. The newest, the top premiere this weekend was Primate. That came in at number 2, making $11 million.
Okay.
That was the monkey horror movie, or chimpanzee horror movie, I should say. It's an ape, not a monkey. Number 3 was still The Housemaid. That made another $11 million.
Oh, wow. So it almost even overtook Primate.
It was literally $100,000 short, it looks like.
Wow.
Catching. So that close. Missed it by that much. 8772 Radio U. Let us know what you've watched lately. I've got a few things to report back on.
Okay.
That I can get to in a few. And Allie, hopefully you do as well.
I have something to talk about, yes.
All right. And we'll see what else people have been watching at 8772 Radio U. We'll get to that coming up. We just did the box office breakdown. Avatar Fire and Ash, once again, number 1 in theaters, followed by the new release Primate, and then The Housemaid, Greenland 2 Migration in its first week, all the way down to number 5. What have you seen lately? Let us know at 8772 Radio U. Regina says, I loved watching the figure skating finals for women's and pairs live in person on Friday.
Whoa!
She got to see who our Olympic team's going to be. She says strong women's lineup for the top 4.
I love figure skating, so that is great to hear, Regina.
We also heard from Jesse, who says, finally got to watch the newer Fantastic Four. It was good. I did fall asleep in the middle of it, but that's because I'm a dad and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's valid. We also heard from William. He said he's not usually one to binge anything, but him and his wife started watching Severance on Apple TV Plus, and they are on the final episode of season 2, and he said such a great show.
Oh, Severance is great. William, what do you think? I think I liked season 2, and I literally yesterday looked up when season 3 starts because I want to watch more Severance.
Yeah.
But I also feel like the first season is just perfect, and I kind of just wish, in a way, that they stopped after the first season.
That would have been like a mini series or something.
Yeah, just because the story was so perfect. Like I don't need to know more. I knew all I needed to know. But also, I just want to keep watching it because it's a good show. Speaking of Apple TV Plus, one of the things I've watched lately, Pluribus. Have you seen a lot of people talking about this?
I've seen it, like an advertisement keep popping up on like ESPN or something. Like I'll get the little pop-up ad for it, but I have not heard anything about what the show's about, and haven't watched it.
If you ever see like people on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, like where they'll put Carol, they'll like say something to me like Carol at the end of it.
Okay.
That's because of Pluribus.
Okay.
I watched the whole season on Apple TV Plus. It's the entire season is now out. By the way, you can also get a free trial of Apple TV Plus if you just want to watch Severance and Pluribus for like a week. That'd be a pretty good way to spend a week. Pluribus is really good. It's like really interesting sci-fi.
Yeah.
I don't want to really give much away because I went in knowing basically nothing, and I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, like I had no idea it was a sci-fi show.
Yeah, it's sci-fi, but not like scary horror sci-fi.
Okay.
More like, thinking sci-fi. And so it's really well done. And I have heard some people say it gets a little slow. It's kind of a slow burn after the first episode, which is thrilling. Like the first episode does almost play out like I don't want to give away too much, give hardly any details, but the first episode kind of plays like almost like a body horror in a way, like sci-fi.
Interesting.
And so it's like its own movie, and then the rest of the episodes, it does get slower, but it's still like you're finding out everything as the character kind of does.
Yeah.
The main character, Ray Seahorn. So that's all I will say.
Okay.
But I really liked it. The other thing I've watched is Beast Games.
Oh, yeah, on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I saw season 2 came out for that.
I have started watching. I think the first 3 episodes are out now. I watched the first 3 episodes. Is
it as mind-numbing as the last time where you're just like, take the money?
Yeah, there was a moment of that. Again, I don't want to spoil anything. It is supposed to be the 100 smartest people in the world versus the 100 strongest people in the world.
Right.
But I know that's not true.
Yeah, that's
because
all
they didn't ask me to be in it.
Oh.
Allie, what have you watched?
I started the new season of Fallout on Amazon Prime. I fell in love with the first season, and I love the Fallout games. And what you know if you've played the Fallout games is it has the best soundtrack. It's all very like old America, 1940s, 1950s music. And they continue that in the show.
Yeah.
Like season 1 had that. Season 2, the needle drops are even better somehow. Like I am absolutely loving it. And so far, I'm very engaged again in the story, the mystery, all of the questions of how all of this happened and all of this fun stuff. So yeah, Fallout, it has me engaged. Once again, there's 4 episodes out so far, and I think there's going to be either 8 or 10 for this second season, but I'm loving it so far.
I watched literally 1 episode of the first season, and I keep meaning to come back to it.
It's so good.
Yeah, now we're starting to mount up to like, now there's 2 whole seasons I got to get through. That's a lot of homework.
But that's also a good feeling because then it's not like, oh, I only have like 1 episode and then I'm stuck, where I'm at right now, where I'm like, I have to wait a whole week before it comes out.
We got a few more texts of stuff people have been watching lately. I want to get to those coming up. We just did the box office breakdown a few minutes ago. Avatar, Fire and Ash, number 1 once again. Primate 2, The Housemaid 3. And we're getting people's reviews of what they've been watching lately, and people have a lot of reviews.
Yeah.
We got a text in from Amanda. She says, I've been watching the new season of Percy Jackson on Disney+.
Okay.
Have you ever seen any Percy Jackson?
I've seen the movie with Logan Lerman. I don't know if that's the only one, if that's the OG one. I'm not sure. I never read the books.
But that's from a couple of years ago, like several years ago.
More than a couple.
Yeah.
Maybe like almost 20 years now.
I'm not really up on Percy Jackson, but I think there's that movie, and then they've made it a show in recent years.
Okay.
That are obviously separate.
Yeah.
I also don't know much about Percy Jackson, but it seems very like Harry Potter-y, like dragons,
except with like Greek mythology,
wizards,
right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Olympians would make sense.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's Greek mythology, which I know not that much about. So, but they have a lot of it. They have a lot of mythology, so there's a lot to work with there. But I have not heard anything about the show, so I hope you're enjoying it, man.
Yeah,
Amanda.
Tim says, I've been watching Unemployed and Jetlag the game on YouTube.
Okay.
They've both been doing hide-and-seek games lately across the U.S. and the UK.
Interesting.
He says, jet lag. I like that he answered this before I said anything, because I was going to go, I don't know what those are.
I don't know.
Tell me more.
I've not heard of those.
He goes, jet lag is just a standard game of hide-and-seek with some minor tweaks to help the finders find the hider. Unemployed's game is way different. The hider can move at any time to any state.
What in the world?
That sounds wild.
Yeah. We also heard again from Regina, who went to see the figure skating finals for Women in Pairs live on Friday. She said they binged the first 3 episodes of the new season of The Traitors, and she says it's so interesting, which I believe that is a reality show.
Yeah,
like a game show.
I was going to ask. I know a lot of people love The Traitors.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. I need to check it out.
I was kind of wondering, especially after I started reading more about it, if you had watched it, because it is a reality show that is a murder mystery.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery, and so it sounds like it's right up my alley, in all honesty.
It really does.
And also...
You just need a Peacock subscription.
Yeah, well, I don't have that. But also, I've seen clips of it, and there's like different reality TV show stars, and a lot of the reality TV I love is like, obviously... Love Island and Love is Blind. And then also I love Survivor. And a bunch of the Survivor people have made their way to The Traitors.
Up your alley.
Yes. So
you
I'm
need
like,
to watch this.
I have to check this show out. So thank you for bringing it to the front of my mind, Regina.
I believe Regina says season 3, she watched the first 3 episodes, or whatever the new season is. Season 4, I think, just started. But they just started a new season, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But I feel like I might like The Traitors too.
Yeah.
I should at least feel like I give it a chance.
Yeah, we should give it a shot.
Allie, have you ever seen a vervet monkey before?
Oh, so many.
Oh, yeah?
So many vervet monkeys.
Where did you see them?
That's probably the most common monkey in the part of the world that I grew up in, which is Southern Africa.
Well, you don't have to go all the way to Southern Africa to find vervet monkeys anymore.
Okay.
You could just go to St. Louis, Missouri, because according to reports, multiple vervet monkeys have been spotted roaming a neighborhood in North St. Louis.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the authorities are not 100% sure how many monkeys are on the loose. They think that there could be at least 4, but it says the exact number remains unclear.
Interesting. Those can be little mischievous fellas, so you got to be careful with them. They're not dangerous. They're not like baboons or anything like that can actually hurt you, but they kind of...
Is this a picture of one, though? It's got some scary teeth.
Oh, yeah, but they're real tiny. Like, they lure you in sometimes with how cute they look, and then they'll be like,
cute.
They'll be like, I'm gonna steal your food now, haha, goodbye, and then they'll just like zip away with your food.
So that's the worst thing you have to worry about. Is the food. Taken. They are in the North St. Louis neighborhood of O'Fallon Park. At least that's where they have been seen. There are some pictures of some of these monkeys out roaming on the loose. They do not know, the authorities do not know where they came from.
Yeah, because I would think, okay, so here's the thing. Like, these are type of monkeys that are not usually like, this is a sad thing, I don't like this, but some type of monkeys are experimented on, as we know. And these are not the ones that are usually experimented on, vervet monkeys.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if it was like some type of lab, which we've seen before, that has had a jailbreak by the monkeys.
Yeah.
These are not the monkeys that would be, cutting loose from a lab. So maybe a zoo.
Well, the St. Louis Zoo helped identify the animals as vervet monkeys. I love this sentence. The St. Louis Zoo helped identify the animals as vervet monkeys, a species native to sub-Saharan Africa, but it's not connected to their escape.
Okay, they're like,
as if somebody was like, you know what kind of monkeys they are. Seems a little suspicious. They apparently there's nobody known in the area
to have vervet monkeys.
Yeah, whether it be a zoo or like some kind of pet, like sanctuary or anything like that.
Yeah,
there's nobody on record that has these kind of monkeys. So it's a little suspicious, and somebody probably was doing something wrong by having them in the first place.
Yeah, somebody's doing exotic animal trading under the radar when they shouldn't be.
And it's gone wrong.
Yep.
But that's a little adventure for St. Louis, I guess, as if they needed anything else going on.
Right. Well, I don't think these monkeys, thankfully, are that worrisome. Like, they're not going to get into that much trouble. They're pretty small. Like, they're not like a chimpanzee. They're not like a baboon. They're not going to be able to lift that much. Like, they're not going to be able to break a window or something like that.
I know in Florida, though, they do have monkeys in some areas that are wild now. I think like Reese's monkeys.
Yeah, those are bigger.
And those are, besides that, like, obviously any monkey could attack you. The concern is that they can give you diseases, like hepatitis, I think, and herpes. But those are like dangerous herpes.
That's because those have been experimented on. Those type of
so these don't have any diseases.
Well, I don't know, but like a lot of those rhesus monkeys get that, unfortunately, from experimentation, which is really sad.
Well, by now they passed it all along to all of the ones that haven't been experimented on.
Well, yeah, because those type of things pass genetically sometimes. And so, it's really sad, in my opinion, that happens. But yes, you should be worried about that if you run into a monkey that's been experimented on or comes from that gene pool. But with the vervet monkey, I doubt you would have much to worry about if it's just been brought in from Africa or something.
In other words, if you don't have food, you are free to go up and pet these guys.
No. Don't approach.
Well, how are you supposed to catch them?
Well, let the people who know what they're doing catch them, not you.
It sounds like nobody knows what they're doing. Coming up, 1 week from today, we'll get the college football playoff title game, the championship. Why is it all the way on January 19th? That is unclear. But
I know. It's so annoying.
Nevertheless, it is going to be exciting. 877-2 Radio U. Last time we did the show, of course, on Friday, we knew Miami was going to be involved. And we did not know that Indiana was going to absolutely dump truck Oregon.
Demolish them.
Yeah. Even worse than I think they demolished Alabama. It was even less competitive against Oregon.
Well, Oregon at least scored a little more points than 3.
Yeah, I think Indiana had given up at that point. Oregon never benched their starting quarterback, did they?
I don't think so.
They should have, because he sucked. So now we get Indiana, Miami. There's plenty of time to preview the game, of course. We'll get to that next week. But Allie, looking back now on Indiana demolishing Oregon, I have a couple of questions, but just what is your takeaway from it?
I mean, I think I picked Indiana to win, and I just have felt this way ever since they beat Ohio State, that this would just be the team that would win it all, because I feel like they're just the most talented and they want it the most. I don't know how this Indiana-Miami's game is going to go. But initial lean, I'll still think through this, but initial lean is to Indiana because they've just looked like the most complete team out there. Mm-hmm. And they've just dominated every step of the way in the playoffs so far. So I think that's kind of my main takeaways. Is I just feel like Indiana's just that good.
It's truly one of the most amazing coaching jobs we've ever seen. And I feel like maybe it's just because Indiana was pretty good last year.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're really just not appreciating how Indiana is not supposed to win a national championship.
Their world has been turned upside down.
I don't know what another comparison. There's no comparison in professional sports of a team that is so... Indiana has the most losses of all time.
This would be like the Browns winning the Super Bowl this year.
And even that is not... I don't even think that's as extreme as what this is.
Yeah.
There's Indiana, because of how many colleges there are and how far down the list of in the pecking order Indiana is.
Program, right?
I do remember, and I don't know anything about soccer, but remember that time was it Leicester City?
Leicester
City.
Yes.
Won in the Premier League.
Yeah, after the year before being almost relegated.
Yeah.
They come and win. It came out of nowhere.
I think that's the closest comparison, but I don't even know if that's a good one because I don't know anything about soccer.
Yeah. Well, and I do think it's a little bit different because we saw Indiana on the come up last year.
Right.
You know? And so,
that's why I think we're not appreciating it enough.
They made the playoff.
Because prior to last year, Indiana was a nothing program.
They were a no-name
for their entire history.
A no-name team, really. They would have some competitive seasons where they would bring a good game to an Ohio State, but they weren't winning 10 games.
That was their biggest highlight. Yeah, it was keeping it close for a half.
Right. That was their Super Bowl. But this is just on a new level. And this is what I love about our sport of college football is we're seeing a leveling of the playing field. Another quick takeaway for you, Hudson. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear the narrative anymore about the SEC being the best conference, that they deserve 6 or 7 teams in the playoff. It's a joke. They have not looked good in the playoff. They are 0-4 against Big Ten teams. And this doesn't need to be an SEC versus Big Ten thing. Mm-hmm. But I think the narrative that they are the best conference and that they deserve all of this praise for having such a gauntlet to run through, I think that needs to die down because it's just not true anymore. Maybe it was true 10 years ago, but in 2025, 2026, I just am not buying it anymore that this is some type of much better conference than everyone else. Well, the ACC has more wins in bowl games and playoff games than they do.
I think it's still true that the 8th team in the SEC is better than the 8th team in the Big Ten. The Big Ten is very top heavy, so they have more title contenders, but the SEC has a bunch of really good teams.
But I don't think that that's a good argument to go off of. I think it's a moot argument to be well, who has the best 8th in the versus 8th? Let's just look at these teams on the straight up, not worry about conferences. Let's get the best teams in. Miami almost didn't even make the playoff, and they're in the championship game. I'm just tired of the narrative that one conference is better than this conference. Forget about the conferences. Let's just talk about the teams that are playing well on the field at the moment.
In the NFL playoffs, not only did we get some great football highlights, but also a fashion highlight as well yesterday. Aaron Andrews was the sideline reporter for Eagles 49ers, and her coat that she was wearing on the sidelines definitely caused some people to do a double take.
Yeah, get their tweeting fingers ready to go. I was actually at pickleball last night, and we have TVs at pickleball, and so we were watching the Bills game, and once that game was over, we turned it over to the pregame for Eagles 49ers, and we're in the middle of a game. I can't see the TV because I'm facing the opposite direction on like what side of the court I'm on, but like the other side of the court literally stops and in their tracks gets distracted as we're about to go by Erin Andrews' coat. They're like, what is she wearing? Because it was quite showy. I don't know what the best way to describe it. It's a massive fur coat.
Yeah. Do you think it's real fur?
Oh, probably. I mean, she's Erin Andrews. She has to be making millions of dollars.
Yeah, she makes pretty good money. And I think, doesn't she have her own line of clothes? Doesn't she do some fashion design?
I would believe it because she does have really good style. Yeah. But to me, I'm sorry, I've never liked fur coats. And I think it's all because I grew up watching Disney. And I think of immediately Cruella DeVille.
Mrs. Hudson literally said, she's dressed like Cruella DeVille yesterday.
I'm like, why does she look like Cruella DeVille? I think, like, she always has great style on the sideline. She always looks amazing.
Yeah.
And to me, when I saw this, I was like, that looks ridiculous. You look like a Disney villain. Like, what are you? It was probably very warm in the fur coat.
That's all I could think. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just a simple man. And so I wasn't thinking, like, the style of it, but I did see it and I was like, oh, that looks cozy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that would be, I could fall asleep in that.
Yeah, it's like Chronicles of Narnia when they get the fur coats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're on the field, outdoors in Philadelphia.
It's pretty chilly.
You gotta stay warm somehow. It looks like she was doing just fine. And this is one more reason why we need to make sure we don't get too many dome stadiums in the NFL.
So we can still see the fur coats from Erin Andrews?
For the style of it all. We need to we need to make sure Chiefs forget about that dome stadium you're trying to build in Kansas. We don't need that.
No.
That would deprive us of moments like this.
Yeah.
And some great actual football moments too.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.